Hello and welcome to another episode of Bad Station Works, and in this build series we are building this 400 horsepower, 800 kilo old Swedish Mailtruck powered by a Volvo T5 engine. Yeah, there we are. It's been a few weeks since I made a video, and you can probably tell from the title of the video what's happening. But yeah, I've been dreading to make this video for a long time now, and it's really one that I really didn't want to make. But sometimes stories in real life don't have an happy ending like they do in TV shows or in movies in cinemas. So a lot of people have been following my project very closely and living the adventure with me. And also at Elmia, I met a lot of people that said like, oh, I really want to meet you and see the car drive at Street Week. So yeah, for those people, you, my loyal followers, I owe you a little bit of an explanation about what's happening. So when I moved to Sweden 3 years ago, I to be honest, I never heard of Street Week. But last year, when I helped Peter Bjork build the Wafflan, this twin turbo V10 powered Volvo 240, I had such a great time. And also when I visited the last race and to see the car running in Laxå, I immediately fell in love with Street Week and everything around it. The community is great, the people are awesome, it's awesome. So I immediately decided like, I want to do Street Week ASAP this year, like the year after, the first opportunity I could get. So with Street Week 2025 as a goal, I pushed hard, really hard for the past 8 months. Last October I started building, and since then I've been working on this car for at least, I like literally every day for at least a few hours, but more than often it was like 10, 12 hours a day, especially in the end. So last January when I lost my job, I made a video about that, I was really bummed about especially how it went down. But also this was an opportunity for me to jump into the deep and start my own company and chase a dream I've been having for at least the last 10 years. So yeah, but then I lost my job and I thought, well, silver lining, now I have plenty of time to finish Tjorven. And things were going well. So I went to Elmia, and just before Elmia, Custom Motor Show I should say, but just before Custom Motor Show, I had my first drive. So the test drive went very well, even though I lost the wheel because I didn't tighten the wheel bolts. Rookie mistake. But at least made me very hopeful that it was able to make the car, to have the car ready for Street Week. So after Elmia, I had a short break. And when I came home, there was still 7 weeks to go until Street Week. Plenty of time, or so I thought. So I thought I had plenty of time, but then the setbacks started. For example, this guy who's going to help me get a new windshield, he ghosted me. No idea what happened there. I'm actually a little bit afraid that he might been in an accident or whatever. Something has happened because I can't get contact with him in any way. So and before I could, but also I found out I couldn't have a hydraulic handbrake for the road legal part. The alternator wouldn't charge. The fuel tank, when I removed it to get everything ready for paint, turned out to have like a super small pinhole leak. It's more sweating than actually leaking fuel. My welding torch broke. A few parts I ordered were super delayed. I still don't have the hood pins for the hood. And like for every to-do list item that I crossed off the list, like 2 new ones popped up. Not because I didn't foresee them, but just stuff that either broke or just needed attention in any way. So the list of things to do, the to-do list, actually grew bigger instead of smaller for every minute I spent in the workshop. And then I felt that like everything that could slow me down did actually slow me down. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And on top of that, my body started to act up. So I already had for a long time, you've often seen me wear this like brace around my arm because I had this tennis arm. Luckily that's gone now. even though when I really work hard then I still feel it itching, but it's not hurtful anymore. My shoulder started to hurt, my lower back, like some points I was just taking painkillers every day just to be able to be in the workshop to get the car done. That's not the way to go. So I kept telling to myself, those bodily issues, that's just a problem for future me. Let's just save that for the week after Street Week. Now I can just push forward and see what happens. One of the big unknowns in this project always have been like third parties. So SFRU, for example, or Transportstyrelse, like the road government part in Sweden. And it turned out to be an issue with SFRU, but not in a way that I expected. I expected the inspection guy, to say like, oh, I don't have time to inspect your car before September or whatever, because like in summer it's always super busy with new cars and blah blah. Turns out the guy did have time, but only 3 weeks after I called him, instead of the 6 weeks that I anticipated. So that pulled, like halved my deadline. And most of the work that still needs to be done is not in the race car part, not in the part that needs to be ready for Street Week, but for the street legal part. For example, windshield wipers. I only need one just to see, but well, road legal rules, you need to have to blah blah, another day added of work. Yeah, so that happened. Then turns out that for the 6 weeks I anticipated, with all the setbacks, I still only realistically had 3 weeks left. And of these 3 weeks, 2 weeks were reserved for customer work. And so that gave me a little bit of stress, to be honest. I was already not feeling very well. This stressed me out. And then I found myself texting a client, hey, do you mind if we move your project forward 2 weeks? This will give me a little bit more time for Street Week and Tjorven. He knows about the whole project and everything. And he was like, yeah, no problem. But then when I was talking to my customer about moving his project forward, I realized like I am sabotaging my own newly started company. While this is my dream to be to earn a living, to get an income from my own fabrication workshop. So this is super counteracting each other. So yeah, that's something I really startled myself with. So for 21 years, I've been working as a software developer, and last January, due to being fired, I made the decision to chase the dream of being a full-time motorsport fabricator. And I do like writing and designing software. But the difference between liking your job or doing the thing that you absolutely love is huge. So last weekend I made one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. Cancelling Street Week. Might not sound like a big deal, but if you've been working for the past 8 months, like more than full time, just to chase this goal of doing Street Week, and then like just in the end realizing that you can't make it, that's hard. So the main thing that led to this decision is that I couldn't guarantee my safety, although I don't care too much about that, but also more importantly, the safety of my co-pilot and also the people around me. So there is lots of people going to the event, watching the races, but also you drive 1,600 kilometers, that's like 1,000 miles, on public road with all kinds of people, children playing on streets, etc. And losing a wheel during a test drive, that's very funny and laughable, while I live here in the middle of nowhere where nobody walks around. But in real life, I don't even want to talk about that. So safety for me, my co-pilot, that's the thing that led to this decision. Don't do Street Week this year. Next year, most likely. I'm now very afraid of making any promises at all. But no, next year, that's the goal. Next year, it should be the Tjorven. I'm just gonna keep building Tjorven. No problem there. It's got to be finished this year probably. But the goal, race-wise, Street Week 2026. So yeah, I just today emailed the organization, people behind Street Week, that I'm going to forfeit my starting number. It's super hard decision again. I really would have wanted to do this, but if I would just have kept pushing forward, then I couldn't guarantee anybody's safety. my health would have probably suffered like a lot. I've been almost sleeping non-stop for the past few days since I made the decision. So my own body, safety, and also if I kept pushing forward and if miraculously I made the deadline, I went to the first race, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. And that's the main goal. I'm doing this to enjoy the journey and also to enjoy the end goal. And as soon as it stops being either of those, then why continue? So it's sad, but well, I'm still going to continue building this. So keep liking, subscribing, and commenting. Please let me know what you think about this decision. Is it a bad decision? Is it a good decision? Is it a sad decision? Let me know. Please let me know in the comments what you think about what would you have done if you were in my boots and in this situation. I'm going to go back to trying to get a video online every week. There is stuff that happened to the car, so make sure to tune in next week for another episode. Hopefully a little bit more cheerful one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.